Greetings and welcome to In Depth. I'm Dike Rostant. Now, Vaughnette Bigford is a vocalist, entertainment entrepreneur, band leader, and the new host of the revamped iconic youth talent show 12 and Under. Now, she don't like people or big people calling her Auntie V, so I try to stay away from it. But Miss V having a thing after the mass. But don't take my word from it. Jenna Marshall-Marchan said, "To whom it may concern, Vaughnette Bigford shows are amazing. Pure talent and artistry at its best. The fashion alone is to be admired and one to be reckoned with. If you never found yourself in a Vaughnette Bigford show, you're real missing out." Now, she continues to talk about getting your tickets and not having to jump fence and things to get inside. We're going to reach all of that, but at the same time, we're going to have a talk with Miss V right now, Vaughnette Bigford. How you doing, Miss V?
I'm good. Good evening. Good evening. Hi, guys.
And how do you feel to get this kind of feedback? Because it's not just Jenna who would have given a testimonial, for want of a better word, like that. There's even, I didn't get the name and I should have, a true poet, storyteller. There are other people who say good things about you. How do those things and those reviews make you feel?
Humbled. When I read Jenna's post this morning, it kind of brought me to tears because maybe I'm at a space these days where these things are triggering a serious kind of emotion in me. But it feels really, really wonderful for people to relate to what I do in that way. I mean, I tell people I'm a very honest artist. I give 100% of myself, and when people give that back, or when they recognize that I'm being as authentic as I could be, it really is wonderful. I love hearing it. I love reading it this morning.
And hopefully I did it justice as well. But space is something that we're going to be talking about consistently during this conversation. And I want to ask about the rationale for placing something in that space kind of just after Carnival, but before the jazz season kind of gets into full swing.
And it's simply, I tell people that I kind of zone in. I do a lot of introspection when I'm coming up with concepts for the things that I do. I was raised by Christian grandparents, and Carnival has never really been my experience. So I tell people I do not know what a Juve morning is like. I've never experienced Juve in my almost 50 years. And the older I get is the more I want to delve into what's ours, because I think that somewhere out there in the investigation of what is ours as Trinbagonians is where I'm going to find myself. I mean, finding self is an ongoing process. So I feel, because I'm not yet comfortable to jump in the middle of the thing, I feel that, I want a little piece of Carnival, but I also don't want it to be 100% full-fledged on the streets Tuesday, because I feel I'm ready for that. And I know that there are a number of others who want some sort of alternate experience or alternative experience, or they love the culture, but they're not particularly interested in going out on Monday and Tuesday. So they want to get a little piece of that. And I just thought it would be something interesting to do, to mix or to marry pre-Carnival, after Carnival, the little dregs of Carnival, into what I call our season. So it's a kind of like a hybrid, kind of a little bit of Carnival, and here we go into our jazz season. So yeah, that's the concept really.
And I think sometimes when you're doing something outside of those, and outside of just saying the word space, I'll also use the term parameters or confines, because sometimes it seems as though people have certain expectations. And during Carnival season, it's supposed to look like this. So, but also being able to build something, because you speak of your concept and things that you want to do. How important towards finding self is it to be able to build your vision, build it outward and implement? But let's also talk about corporate seeing your vision and saying, okay, well, we want to get behind that a little bit.
Well, that is an ongoing process. And I guess for most creatives, I mean, we could always do it a lot more corporate sponsorship, or a lot more people buying into to what our vision is. I mean, whilst I'm here, I want to say thank you to NLCB for jumping on board for this soiree. And NLCB, they have been consistently putting the money in, investing money into creatives and artisans and festivals. And I really want to say thank you to them for that. But it's really important. Sometimes I feel like a real loner, you know, because I just want to know, whenever you coming up with these ideas and where you think people, why you think people are going to buy into these ideas. But it's just really trying to express and to show that as Trinbagonians, we are a versatile, multidimensional, we can do anything. Yes, soca and calypso comes from here, it's indigenous to here, but it's not all that we do. We can be so much more, or we can allow that soca and calypso indigenous experience to influence how we present anything. And that, I think, is what we try to do as jazz artists here, or as artists doing alternative things, to let people know that yes, we're calypso and soca and we love it, because I can't deny that. I can't deny it is in the movement. I'm a body, that's who I am. But I think I always want people to see where we can go, or how far we could take the music, and kind of create alternate experiences outside of these mainstream festivals, so that people know that, I mean, we could do so much, we could be so much, you know. I mean, people, I guess people generally, people buy into it. Not all the time the people that I want to buy into it, because generally most of my events are self-funded. And it's not very easy as a creative entrepreneur trying to, you know, come up with the vision and still having to find money and to make sure everything that's, you know, associated with getting this product out is done. So, I mean, we could always do it more encouragement. I'm thankful for those who see the vision and jump on board as well too.
I think because sometimes one can take away from the other, because if you're not taking the time and energy to invest into the art, but doing so in the business, because hand wash hand and two hand wash face, but at the same time is a little more comfortable. Sometimes it's okay, well, that's sorted, so we can spend a little more energy on this. And even looking, you spoke about looking at the possibilities of the music and our creative expressions, and we just saw the piano girl, your sister in musical arms, recently released her version or her cover of DNA with Friends, and it is something that is beautiful. Sometimes, hey, it have all them chords in it, boy. It have all that music in it. Although DNA is one that we saw the sweetness from Jumper.
Yes, I think that we saw that from early. But I mean, generally, the music can go anywhere. It depends on what your interpretation of it. I mean, I've seen Terry do an arrangement of "You're Looking for Horn" by Shadow, and I don't even know if Shadow might recognize it when Terry finishes it. Or Ming do an interpretation of Galona that send people crazy all the time. You know, so there's so much that we could do. But if we get the space and the audience coming back, I mean, we could do a lot. And I mean, I tell people at Dike, as artists, I think generally we want to be able to take care of ourselves. We don't look for handouts, or we are not particularly sitting by waiting for people to, we're doing stuff, and we just really want people to be able to see the vision and buy into it.
I see once again you talk about space, huh? But you spoke about it, sometimes it can feel lonely, but it seems as though you help to populate, and I'll use the word, we use it unapologetically, you help to populate that space with people around you, because sometimes it's not as though, okay, well, the place look nice, but we don't know who was the decorator. It seems as though everybody who's responsible for every increment, you make sure that that person's name is mentioned, and you provide a platform. And it seems as though it's also as though you're curating the space and training people, encouraging them to do the same. So I'm a quote Nicola Young. All you know, once Vaughnette Bigford putting on a show, you must not miss it. I done went by Vanity Fair of Val Park to get my fabric, and I made my way to Sophia Clark to have my frock made. If you don't have your ticket, know your frock, wait for the pics from Look Into My Eyes about Monday. So that's 3 people making and you're making mention of all these individuals and the possibilities and players. What do you make of that, and what's the significance of that to you?
That is so important. It is so important because that is generally what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be. That's how we keep the thing going. You know, provide spaces and platforms for artisans, for Look Into My Eye, who's a photographer. So the last event I held, which was the Freedom Jazz Jam, I had a young design duo called Rack PDH from San Fernando. After that event, they sent me 2 items. And I said, but I can't remember ordering it. She said, no, you didn't order. She said, but Vaughnette, the amount of business we got from this particular event, we thought it only fair that we send you something and people look forward to the events for that, because really and truly, it's just kind of trying to keep the money in and around other creatives as well too, smaller businesses. I mean, there are some things I need to go to big business for, but it's also just like somebody would have provided a space for me. I want to do the same. I want when a VB event happens that people know that they could make a little money. You know, people know that this is an opportunity. I have people in my inbox all the time saying, "Hey, can I be an artisan at your event?" Which is something that I recently introduced because, again, captive audience. People are coming, 500 people, somebody must buy something on the way out. And we have people who are working diligently, putting out some wonderful products here in Trinidad, Dike. Some beautiful things that you wouldn't believe was made right here. And it's just basically to give them.
And that platform and that space and that shine. So I wanted to talk about some of those people when we come back from this break, please. We're talking with Vaughnette Bigford. We didn't mention the name of the event yet, but it is Soiree. After the mass, stay with us. We return with more. Welcome back. We are speaking with Vaughnette Bigford. We're talking about Soiree After the Mass. It's on the 17th of February. You don't want to miss it. Now, just before we took the break, we started to speak about some of the people. And I know, is Ted Arthur one of them, I believe?
Ted Arthur's collections from the sister isle. Well, you know, me and Tobago have a whole love affair. I'm a big fan. We from Liquor too. So I'm so honored that Ted and they are going to be at this event on Saturday. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm holding my wallet tight too because I have no money and I don't want to buy already because there's nothing that you see at Ted Arthur's that you don't want to go home with. You know, so I'm really excited about that.
And just in time, I have a slipper there that I want to give out. I'll be like, and that is when I see the poster. I'll be like, wow.
Exactly.
But I think there's some other individuals as well.
So we have Ted Arthur. We have Shaz Flavors, young creative. She puts together some wonderful drinks. She's actually from my village in Labray. We have Green Thumb Growers, and they do some wellness shots. So like you can have ginger pineapple, you can have kale. As a matter of fact, I've been using those wellness shots for the past couple months and really fighting off whatever's in the air. So we have them as well. So I also have the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society because I tell people that I think that I have a role to play, especially with women and women's health. Reminding women of what we are supposed to do for ourselves, because sometimes we take care of ourselves last, Dike. We take care of the family and we take care of everything else and we take care of ourselves last. And I feel that it's my purpose to keep reminding them that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to keep sustaining self and making sure you take care of yourself and do your checks, get the pap smears, get the mammograms done, get the ultrasounds done. I mean, I'm not excluding the men because we're all affected by this awful, awful thing. But my audience is primarily a female audience, and I thought we'd have the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society there to, again, information to give out. If you have questions, you want to set up a screening, there's going to be somebody there at Soiree as well. I also have Sasha Cosmetics because we're going local, and Sasha has been partnering with me for a number of things as well too. So yeah.
Talk to me, and I want to say hello to Ronnie John. He won the costume of the year in terms of the king of the band. And so
the whole partner Ronnie, yeah.
You understand? It's because of Ronnie, I know that my Sasha color is perfect spice. Hello. But I'm really glad that you have the Cancer Society there as well, because and I talk from experience, because I have 2 immediate family members who would have transitioned because of cancer. So that is a beautiful thing there too. But and it brings me to the point of asking, celebrating wins and sharing losses, how does that, and just allowing people into your world, is there a point where you want to say, okay, well, I want to take a rest, I want to just kind of lock off? How does that work for you?
You know, sometimes it could be a lot, because I'm also an empath, so I feel and I have lots and lots of people coming at me all the time with all sorts of different things, you know, all sorts of different things, because of course I have said to them, I'm here. That's what I've said. And I as much as there are times when I want to step back, I feel if I put myself out there and I say to you that I'm here, and you come to me with something, then it means that I have a responsibility at some point in time to listen, even if it means me saying, you could give me a couple hours, I'll call you back tomorrow, or I'll message you back tomorrow, and do that with the intent of self-preserving. But I feel also that if I say that I'm here, I want to be there in the truest sense of the word. So I try to be as present as possible. People say, well, Vaughnette, where you just find the time? You know, I just find the time. I work for myself. And I tell people, social media is a big part of the job. Being present, being accessible, because these are the people who take money out of their pockets and come to my events. So it's an exchange. And I don't know where we get the idea that artists or that people or fans or followers don't want to feel connected to the people that they follow. And that's all I do. I just present myself and I say, oh, yeah, there's me, you know. Good day, bad day. I just share it, and we have a really wonderful exchange and an audience that continues to build, you know.
One of the things that you're not sharing is, say, if you get the numbers from an LCB, because you said people ask her, you say, you wait on that, you wait on that.
I mean, and LCB give me a little forward. I'm so happy because, I mean, as I say, corporate kind of don't really see, I guess maybe because my audience is a small audience, so maybe they don't see the direct benefit. So I'm thankful to NLCB. But you could imagine I post NLCB, give me a little forward accent, they tell you the lotto numbers. I said, I love you all, but I also want the lotto numbers for myself. I will share it. But I ain't giving you the numbers and I take something for myself. I'll take it and I'll share it with you, you know.
But that level of connection, because I started off asking, how do you feel to get the feedback? And that feedback is on digital platforms. That is one thing. There's a level of appreciation that can be had for that. But speak to me about the people who say, Vaughnette, come to drop my tickets. I'm going to bake the sweetbread for she.
Yeah.
I'm going to organize this thing. What is that like in terms of like that personal touch and people reaching out, that engagement?
Oh my gosh. Now, first and foremost, people ask, they're surprised when I drop the tickets. Why should I not drop the tickets? They're my tickets that you're buying. If I have the time, I'm coming to drop the tickets for you because you're that important to me. Because I need you. That's how I live in. I'm living because you are buying my ticket. So why should I not drop the ticket for you if I can? I mean, there may be a time when I can't do it, but until I can't do it, I'm going to do it. But listen, is red mango, is thing to drink, is Accra, is listen, by the time we were finished dropping off them tickets, I didn't even have to stop for lunch. And that, I mean, how amazing is that? It's a real testament or testimonies as to how, and some of these people are people I've never met. It's just in the social media space, but it can be such a beautiful thing when people connect like that. So I'm so thankful. I'm going to continue to drop off those tickets if it means I'm going to continue to get Accra and take away again. Why not?
You're eating saltfish pizza here?
No, Dike. However, However, I also have Shimalicious at Soiree on Saturday too. So for the people who are wanting to have a taste of the saltfish pizza, you will get that. I am not eating it, however. It's an abomination unto the Lord. I'm sorry.
I rebuke that statement. Hello, Shimon.
I know you like it. I do
Yes,
not.
but then
I've
again,
never tried it, so.
but then again, I have an uncle, God bless him, nicknamed Saga. He's somebody who would make a like filling puffs. He would do a cream cheese and smoke herring filling for the puffs and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, he
What?
experiments. Listen, Dike,
Anyhow, let me done this
I
conversation.
do not
Let us
experiment.
let us lift the note because I do like that expression from you. And going, I started with a quote. There was a quote in the middle, and I'm ending with one. This one is from Jamie J. Filbert.
Ah.
My friend is having a show. She cares about your experience, your time, and energy. If you go, know that care is a main ingredient in what she is presenting to you. Go love yourself and love her and the crew of magical ones up. Thanks to Vaughnette Bigford for caring about the people of Trinidad and Tobago and offering us such a gorgeous mirror of our beauty.
Yeah.
This has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. We've been talking to Miss V. Vaughnette Bigford. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining.